Today I'm going to be talking about the coolest tech that's come out in 2023. Let's get into it. Number one definitely has to be ChatGPT that came out at the beginning of this year. ChatGPT has been a ridiculously big improvement over every single AI model we've had in the past, and it kind of has taken the world by storm. If we look back at some of the news articles, everything that was being said at the time, ChatGPT hit the world by storm. No one expected it to do as well as it has and take over the whole world and take over the industry, because AI has become a massive part of everything we do now. In every single thing we have now, including Word documents, Google searches, AI is used. And this has happened since the beginning of the year. We are only in the later end of 2023, so that means that only good things can now come. It's honestly insane to think that we've had this for almost a year now, and ChatGPT has evolved so much. So yeah, ChatGPT has been a pretty big addition to the tech space and very, very cool innovation to be a part of. So ChatGPT was also a very big deal because it meant that we could do things that we've never done before. We could write essays really quickly. We could get it to compare different essays really quickly, for example. So we could ask it to compare different things, ask it different questions, and for it to reply in a more human response. And that's what we've been waiting for a while. We had things like Google Home and Alexa and Siri that could give us basic responses, but couldn't give us the full-blown responses that we were looking for, that sound human, that feel human. Now ChatGPT can talk. It's honestly even more creepy. I'll throw up a video now on what ChatGPT can do now. So this is what ChatGPT can do. So all you have to do is just choose your voice. So we'll go with Breeze. We'll give it access to our microphone. ChatGPT, what can you actually do? And I can speak in a really normal way to you and you will understand what I'm saying. So what can you actually do?
Hey Harry, I can chat with you, answer questions, share information, help with tasks, and even provide some entertainment. Just let me know what you're up for.
So can we continue this conversation, you know, like casually, like can I bring in, like what is the tallest building on the planet?
Absolutely, Harry. The tallest building currently is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai.
So compared to, you know, Google and Alexa, you seem a lot more advanced in your language model.
Well, thanks for the compliment. I'm based on GPT 3.5, developed by OpenAI. It's true, I'm designed to understand and generate human-like text across a wide range of topics. Anything else on your mind about tech or something else?
That's all for now. After you've had all these conversations, it will number one tell you how long you're on the chat for, and it will also give you a full transcript on everything that was said in the call. So this whole thing with ChatGPT and the way it can speak and the way it acts is actually very unique. But anyway, back to the video. Yeah, as you can see, ChatGPT is now sounding more than ever like a human. And it's honestly pretty cool to see that we can now have a sort of casual conversation with ChatGPT. Unlike things like Google Home and Siri and Alexa, you can have a normal civilized conversation. It's really cool. Apple Vision Pro definitely has to be number two. And it's a really, really cool thing because this got announced in June and has been honestly something that we've been looking forward to. It should be coming out early 2024. So the fact that this got announced this year is really cool because we've been hearing things, you know, in the background saying Apple were coming out with a mixed reality headset that could do AR, VR, everything. And it's just a really cool thing that we are now a part of. This is one of Apple's new technologies, and they do not release new technologies often. So to have something like this, where we can put it on our heads, we can look into, you know, a fake world or into a real world. This is the first of its class, to be able to look into a real world and a fake world, as well as Apple are going to be doing it. Now, yes, the price, $3,500, is absolutely insane. But for what it does, it's spatial computing. It has an M2 chip in it, and it's honestly going to be ridiculously cool. Two ridiculously cool OLED panels, either side of your eyes, and it's honestly going to be really cool. The only other thing that I could think is going to be a downside is having to have the battery coming out the side and also having, you know, this massive heavy thing made out of aluminium on your face all the time. Obviously, we're yet to know what that's like because we've only had number one things from a small amount of reviewers and also, you know, people that have tested this early and what Apple have said. So, you know, it's going to be quite a different, you know, innovation. It's going to be pretty cool to see what Apple decides to do with this, the leaps, the bounds it comes across, you know, when they release a cheaper version for the general streamer public, because it's ridiculous. It's really only going to be tech reviewers and enthusiasts of tech that are going to be able to buy this thing, because no one is going to drop $3.5 grand on something like this at this early of a stage, just because people aren't going to know what it is. People aren't going to expect they need it. People aren't going to know they need it until they realize a lot of people are buying these and it is a needed necessity. Number 3 definitely has to be the Pixel tablet. Now, this came out in July, and yeah, honestly, I completely forgot about this thing until I was doing research for this video. But honestly, at the time, I really loved the idea. The idea of being able to have a tablet and a Google Home mixed into one. It's honestly a great idea, and I'm hoping that Apple adopts this at some point with the HomePod, because I think it'd be really cool to be able to have, you know, an iPad on that position. But yeah, if you don't know what the Pixel tablet is, it is basically a Google Home mixed with a tablet. So you can dismount the tablet off the stand. It just acts like a normal tablet, and then when you put it back on, it acts like a Google Home. Now, you may be asking why this is a good thing. Now, for me personally, I don't really tend to use, you know, tablets a lot. I don't even own one because I just found that I wasn't using it enough. I've got a laptop and I've got a phone. That's basically all I need. But having that Google Home as just there all the time, and if you decide, you know what, I want to go on holiday, or I just want to watch something on a slightly bigger screen, you have that tablet that you can just pop off the stand that you know for a fact is going to be charged, just that easily. I honestly, one of my best favourite tech products that's come out this year, and I'm so glad that's made it onto this list, because honestly, it's a new innovation from Google, and it's really, really cool to see. Number 4 definitely links into Apple Vision Pro, but it is AR glasses. We're starting to see more companies make glasses that you can look through, that, you know, blend into your environment. It's a really, really cool idea, and I absolutely love the fact that, you know, all these products are coming out in the edge of technology. This is the edge of technology at the moment. All these AR glasses getting slimmed down, not to be massive headsets on your face. It's going to be really cool to see all these technologies, and we've had so many come out this year. I mean, I can't even list all the ones that have come out this year, but they've been massive innovations. They've been massive things that people are enjoying, people are reviewing, people are actually buying and using to watch movies, to play games. I know people in my close circle that have bought these things, and it's really, really cool to see that people are buying these headsets. People are actually using these technologies, because, you know, recently AR and VR has become a lot more popular as people start to realize that this is possibly going to be the future and what's going to replace smartphones. So yeah, AR glasses are a really big part of 2023, and they have absolutely pushed forward the whole of the industry without a doubt. Number 5, now this has happened this month, and it's honestly a really, really creepy thing. Tesla Robot 2. Now, I'm going to throw up some video footage now of the way these things are moving, the way that these things are interacting. Now, Elon Musk said that his vision for these is for them to be able to do, you know, cook for you, clean for you, just be a personal assistant, basically. And yeah, we had version 1 come out, I think, last year, but version 2 is way more advanced and looks way more human and acts way more human as well. So it's going to be really intriguing to see, you know, what these rich people do with these once we start to see real footage of real people having them. You know, these robots are going to be a massive leap in technology. To have, you know, a robot that looks relatively human, that acts relatively human, is going to be a strange thing. We haven't actually seen how a robot behaves in our everyday lives. So obviously we have things like Google on our phones that I guess are sort of robots, but they're not walking around with us, they're not following us, they're not cooking for us, they're just helping us. But having a robot do things for you, actually being able to physically help you, is going to be a massive leap in technology, and that is why it makes it onto the 2023 list. Number 6, this is still linked to Tesla. The Cybertruck finally came out this year. Honestly, it got announced way back when, I think in 2018, and yeah, it has been a massive thing that people have been waiting for. Now, I definitely think it was overpromised and underdelivered in terms of, you know, the range, the speed, the specs we got weren't as amazing as Tesla made out to be, and the pricing was pretty disappointing, coming in at 100k for the top model. But for what it is, it looks so interesting. Like, I don't personally think that it looks great, but I think it just looks futuristic. I can see the appeal behind it, and I think that it's going to be a massive leap forward for a lot of these electric trucks, because as soon as Tesla makes something, every other electric truck company wants to try and outperform them, and competition is always a good thing, especially in the car industry. You haven't had a new truck company come in and take anyone off their pedestal at the moment. Ford is still number 1 in America, but Tesla are probably going to be the only people that can do it. Obviously, we've had things like Rivian and the Mustang, but they haven't been able to come in and take away all those sales. So yeah, I'm going to be intrigued to see what Tesla does with the Tesla Cybertruck, but I'm actually really impressed to see this thing that's actually finally come out this year, and people are honestly really excited for this, and it's going to be super cool to see these things on the streets and moving about, because they are just absolutely wacky. Number 7, now this is more of a, you know, interesting technology that came out this year. iPhones being able to game. We've got to the point now where mobile processors are so powerful that they can run, you know, previous gen console games in the palm of your hand. Now, don't get me wrong, they're not going to be insane, they're not going to look amazing, but the fact that we can run the full version of the game on an iPhone is mental. You know, obviously there's only a few games at the moment that are actually supported by Apple, but the fact that this is even a possibility, even a talking point that I'm making, the fact that we can have phones that can game and actually game properly, is kind of insane when you think about it. Before we were having things like Xbox 360, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, you know, trying to come up with solutions to gaming that weren't really as portable but were getting smaller. And now the fact that we have a gaming machine in the pocket, in our pockets, is insane. It kind of, you know, eliminates the need for maybe things like a Switch or a Steam Deck if you play specific games that are supported on the iPhone. Because a lot of people are buying these things alongside their phones so they can actually game on the go. Whereas if we have phones that have, you know, better battery life, better performance, better screens, you know, a better size, then people are going to be more inclined to game on their phones instead of going out and buying all these expensive gaming devices. So yeah, I definitely think this is a really cool thing and a super cool technology to come in 2023. Number 8. Now this year we have seen the biggest leap in smartphone cameras that we have ever seen. 2023 has been a year for the smartphone cameras. AI being incorporated into all these camera apps, being incorporated into, you know, the way that photos are processed. It's made cameras leap so far ahead to what they used to be able to do. And, you know, the smartphone camera is now the best camera you're going to have most likely in the household. So to be able to see that, you know, they can, 9 times out of 10, they can add these upgrades over the air, because it's not even about the hardware anymore. It's also about the software. Different companies have different softwares for their cameras that can do different things. And it's honestly a good thing that AI has come in, it's stepped in, and it's made it so that we can have these ridiculously big advancements in camera technology so much sooner, because 2023, being the year of AI, has just led to camera improvements on phones being insane. Not even just the iPhone, Samsung, Google, Oppo, OnePlus, even Nothing. They are making insane AI improvements to their cameras that means that before, a mid-range phone wouldn't have been able to take that good pictures, but now it can take insane pictures because of all the AI processing that can go on, and it just shows that hardware isn't always everything when it comes to cameras. Now, number 9 definitely has to be AI is now used in every single thing we have. Now, I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is actually a really good thing. You know, in our smart assistants, it's going to be coming. In cameras, it's already happening. In text documents, it's already happening. So when does it become the limit? When are we finally saying we don't want AI to be incorporated in everything? I don't think it's going to happen. I think AI is going to slowly take over every single app and every single thing we do. Now, we're going to have to get used to that. And we're going to have to get used to that technology being used in every single little part of our lives. But the fact that we can have an assistant that isn't being paid, isn't doing anything, you know, isn't a physical entity that can help us do work and help us with, you know, text documents and help us with speeches, you know, things that students might not have had before. It's gonna revolutionize learning and the schooling system if it's done right. Now, AI can also be a very scary thing. If we don't control it right, AI could take over everything and literally demolish us like Ultron. But we've got to hope that the people that are in charge of AI don't end up, you know, going too ridiculous with it, trying to make it do too many things too quickly. Because if we do that, that's when the death of humans comes. But I wouldn't be worried about that. AI is still very much under control and is at its very, very lowest point in terms of what it's going to be. AI is only going to get better from here. So we do have to get used to the fact that AI is going to get better. It's going to get more scary as time progresses. And these companies are going to want more and more of our data. The more apps we use, the more that ChatGPT and OpenAI has access to all of our data, it's going to become more advanced. So we do have to get used to that. If you did enjoy this video, I did try a new setup today. My phone is actually flipped round onto the rear-facing lens just because I want to see if it improves the quality of the videos. If it does, we will be keeping this in the future. But if you did enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. And have a good new year, everyone. I'll see you next year. It's been Harry. I'm out. Peace.